Donald Trump, I think we can all agree, is one of the greatest minds of our age. Sorry, all ages, every age that's ever come and every age that ever will. And he recently dropped another one of his little crusty wisdom nuggets on us. And it said this: the best definition of intelligence. If you're on the podcast, you have to imagine that this is all in caps. The best definition of intelligence is the ability to predict the future, which, no, it's not. But whatever, okay, that's a definition of intelligence, the ability to know what a thing is going to cause, what's coming, all of that. I like it. Wiser words have never been spoken except constantly. But let's test it, okay? So interestingly, Donald Trump apparently had a cabinet meeting a couple days ago, and he suggested there that undocumented people working on farms and in hotels would be allowed to leave the country, but then return as legal workers if their employers vouched for them, saying, so a farmer will come in with a letter concerning certain people saying they're great, they're working hard, and importantly, we're gonna slow it down a little bit for them. And then we're gonna ultimately bring them back. They'll go out, they're gonna come back as legal workers. So it is unclear what he means by slow it down a little bit for them. But I think what it means is that the cover story that we're gonna let these people go and then come back is not actually what this is about. Because nothing about that would be slowing things down. The only thing you'd slow down when you apparently realized last out of everyone in America that farms and hotels and other places desperately need these people is that we don't want to send them away. What you'd slow down is the sending them away part, not the bringing them back, which means, oops, they actually contribute a ton to our country. We desperately need them. Certain industries will shut down without them. Whoopsie daisy. I shouldn't have actually done that. And so I've always thought, by the way, that the best definition of intelligence is the ability to predict the future. And we all did that. We all knew that if you deported literally millions of people just working hard every day, day in and day out, in many industries, in many jobs, and for pay that a lot of native-born Americans don't want to work, that's gonna cause some issues and you're gonna come to regret it. And he didn't have that level of intelligence, the ability to predict the future. And so it looks like they're gonna have to backtrack on this, not only in bringing them back in or whatever, but as he alluded to, maybe we keep ICE away from the farms. Maybe we don't send border patrol into the hotels. Maybe we don't clear out all these people. And the thing is, if they can learn it on this industry, maybe they can learn it in others. Maybe they can do it in construction. They can do it outside of hotels. Maybe they can learn that in fact, immigration, including undocumented immigration, is not the rape of America, the invasion of America. It's in fact one of the best things for America because these people contribute far more than they take or get from America. They come here, they work these jobs, they pay taxes, they do all of that. They take very little back for it, and our country continues to exist. And maybe finally, even if they never acknowledge it, some of these people, Donald Trump and MAGA, can learn that lesson. What do you think, JR?
I have a very simple question. Are they still rapists, drug dealers, and gang members? I'm curious because I was told many times that they're rapists, they're drug dealers, and they're gang members. If you see them on the streets, that means they're about to rape your daughter, they're about to pull out a gun on you, and they're gonna push you on a subway platform. That's what I keep hearing. Why is it suddenly there's a group of folks that you told everyone are rapists, killers, drug dealers, and gang members are suddenly able to work in our hotels and on our farms? Aren't they gonna rape a couple of crops? Are they gonna shoot some beds in the hotel rooms as they make them? What is it that he's talking about? When is he gonna finally have this full drawback on his rhetoric and say, my bad, they're not all rapists, killers, and drug dealers? As a matter of fact, take it even further. When is MAGA gonna be fed up with this liar? Aren't you guys fed up with this liar in chief? He told you that they're all rapists, killers, and drug dealers, and gang members. Why is he being so soft on crime? Why does he want them to come and kill your family and beat up on your door and kick it in with their loads of guns and rapists running in your house? Why is he allowing this? Aren't you done with this guy? This guy sounds like Sleepy Joe Biden, who likes to let millions and millions of rapists, killers, and drug dealers and gang members in the country. When are they gonna finally finish this thought process? They never believed it. It was all rhetoric. They knew it was rhetoric from the first place. They knew it was scare tactics for the people who actually believed it and are dumb enough to believe it. And then after believing it, don't pay enough attention after he pulls back on it. Certain people, as usual in this country since its inception, they use to make their wealth. After they make their wealth off those people, in order to continue making wealth off of those same folks, they demonize them and call them rapists, killers, drug dealers, and gang members. Doesn't it sound familiar what they do with a lot of people all the time in this country? But the wealthy are the smartest, they're geniuses, they know what they're doing. They build this entire country. Except the people that they demonize built this entire country. And they just keep shaping and forming it to different kinds of folks that are scary to the people who build their wealth off of those rapists, killers, drug dealers, and gang members. Weird how that works. So when is MAGA gonna finally have some principles and stand by your racism and your bigotry and want these same folks that you're afraid of out of the country? What about Laken Riley? Why are you gonna betray her family? She was murdered. All of them did it, right? Doesn't make any sense suddenly, does it?
Yeah, and they'll have their cover story that like, oh no, we're making them go and they're coming back as legal workers or whatever. Oops, yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
JR raises a great point. What are they doing to the barley? What are they doing in those fields? Anyway, yeah, no, all of this is nonsense. It's, oh, what do you know? Imagine if he could learn a lesson like without having to dive off a cliff head first and learn that lesson. And by the way, I just want to give you a little update on this. So you know, like we found out Mahmoud Khalil, they were like, oh, he's a terrorist mastermind. And then what evidence you have? We have nothing. He just didn't want Palestinian kids to die, but we're still gonna deport him. And the courts are like, you can. So Rumeysa Ozturk, the grad student that was snatched, that was just black bagged off the streets. Yeah, no evidence was presented that she had engaged in any activities that were supporting a terrorist organization or were even anti-Semitic. They literally don't have her saying a thing. They don't have her holding a sign. They don't have anything, and they didn't. This is before they took her. So they had already had a look into her. The State Department, I guess, was tasked and, hey, this random grad student that we apparently have no evidence of anything. Yeah, dig into her, find out if there's anything. So they did. They dug into her background, they dug into her activities, nothing. And what did the Trump administration do? No, we're deporting her anyway. I don't care. Because she's still, I mean, she's wearing a head covering and she seems to like Palestinians. So it would have been cool if she'd done something or even said something, but she didn't. Who cares? We're just gonna send her away anyway. And that memo that the State Department had produced said specifically that Marco Rubio didn't have any sufficient grounds for revoking her visa, which she had. She's not undocumented, she has a literal visa under the like almost never used law that he's now citing to just get rid of people who've committed literal thought crimes. People who hold a position that he doesn't like, who might have said things he didn't like, although evidently not anti-Semitic because they would cite those. If you hold those positions, this is what the right-wing cancel culture looks like. You don't get to think differently than us. We're gonna ship you out of the country. Anyway, and by the way, DHS had said after she was taken that she engaged in activities in support of Hamas. They had already done an investigation. They had already proven there was no evidence of that, but they lied about her, hoping that everyone would be so hateful and so xenophobic that they would just listen to the lies and accept the fact that this person, who's just a literal grad student, should be deported.